Hello and welcome. Sutherland Global Services is one of the early entrants in the Indian BPO or BPM space. It's been active in several verticals, but has also grown quite substantially over the years, and both inorganically and organically. It acquired Apollo Health Street recently, and that's something that you may have read about. Joining us now to speak about what lies ahead for the company is Bala Sivanesa, who's the Senior Vice President there. Bala, thank you very much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
Okay, so now that I got all the name and the introduction right, so let me. So how have things been for Sutherland? I mean, I read about the acquisition with Apollo Health Street, and are you building healthcare capability or expanding your healthcare capability at this point?
No, absolutely. Our growth has been pretty significant, even before the acquisition of healthcare. As I told you earlier today, that we are 9 verticals. Healthcare is one of them. We've predominantly grown organically till we acquired Identity Global Services in 2010. Healthcare is one of the key areas where we've decided to invest to grow. But from our organic footprint, it was a very small portfolio. Apollo was a very strategic acquisition, a very key one. We're very excited about it. Even without the acquisition, I think we were growing at 20% a year. And at this point of time, with the acquisition, I think we have some great plans to grow, and we're very excited.
Right. So are you sort of gearing up for the Obamacare world?
That's part of it, absolutely, because we have a very sound platform from what we've acquired, and that's absolutely part of the game to really capitalize and grow.
Right. So what else is happening in your world? I mean, what are the trends that you're seeing in terms of what customers are asking and your ability to deliver to those requirements?
I think very strategically, if you look into it, beyond the normal volume-based BPM operations, I think the clients are more and more moving into how do we kind of take care of end-to-end processes for them, which we in Sutherland call it as integrated BPO. We look at the complete customer life cycle, for any client. So we look at both the front office and back office, and we really go with an end-to-end solution to our clients where we can design solutions with an outcome-based pricing model where your ability to share the gains or the risk with the client and also grow is pretty significant. And that's where our focus has been. And if you look at the mortgage vertical and travel and some of these verticals, our focus has been more on that, and we've been very successful in growing in that area recently.
So what's in between travel, mortgage, and healthcare and so on? What's the more exciting vertical, at least at this point of time?
I mean, mortgage is a fledgling vertical, as you know, with the financial meltdown that happened in U.S. There's the interest rates going down, refi going up, with the interest rate going up now, refi coming down, and the industry keeps changing. Clearly, banks are struggling how to cope up with that. And with the experience that we've built over the years, we are able to provide that leadership and support and really, be a strategic partner for many of the banks. Right. So clearly, that's an area of focus which is absolutely growing. And not only that, there are the verticals like telecom, technology, or retail have been a very established vertical for us, right? So on that, obviously we continue to grow, but mortgage is new, healthcare is very recently with the acquisition. We're making some significant investments to grow there as well.
So what's driving the new wave of growth or outsourcing that's happening at this point of time?
I think, as I said, right, so the industry, the current market conditions in United States or in Europe, and coupled with that, what the banks and others have to accomplish. That's what is really driving the outsourcing today.
So let me add to that question. So let's say 3 or 4 years ago, it was being driven by a very brutal cost-cutting, cost management push to some extent or to a large extent. Is it the same trends that are driving business?
See, cost is always going to be a factor, sure. Right? Now, coupled with that, there are several regulations that have come in, in US where the banks have to adhere to, which was not there to that extent before. Now, banks have to still continue to maintain their margin and still adhere to those conditions, which clearly has increased them to have certified loan officers. There are certain things that they need to keep it onshore versus offshore. These have really created a lot of complexities for the banks, right? So it's very difficult for them to ramp in a short time period and adhere to the market needs as well, right? So they're looking for partners like Sutherland who have this experience and who can quickly bring those things to the solution to the table for the client, which we are able to do it today. And because we had those exposures end to end, because we were not providing tactically in one segment of task-oriented job. We were doing end-to-end processing. That helps us to, give that end-to-end solution to the banks, which we are able to, capitalize today.
Right. So what are the new things that, or new verticals that you see coming? I mean, if you were to now look ahead, what are the areas that you feel?
I think healthcare is absolutely big. With Obamacare coming in, that's definitely big. Governments, obviously that's going to push more and more requirement for the government to track and manage. So because we are a US-based corporation, we see that as a very significant area of opportunity to go and capitalize work that can be outsourced from the government, which obviously we have to deliver onshore, but that's a big area of focus for Sutherland, which is a very, very small piece today. But we clearly see that for the next 3 to 5 years, that's going to be a big piece of our outsourcing.
Right. So you talked about the whole end-to-end as opposed to specific tasks and components of that sort of supply chain. So how is the talent side meeting up to all these demands?
So I think we're able to do it pretty well. The first thing is in any talent, retention is a key thing when you want to scale. I think we have a great plan to retain our top talent. Added to that, we continuously invest on upgrading talent. If you take within our operation from transactional work to the high-end value work, we have staggered career path for our employees so that we can retain the talent and continuously keep them giving career progression, which helps you to retain within the organization. Not only that, we've created industry-specific training modules, e-learning platform that we have, which leverages for when you hire new talent, we not only give the basics of processing or customer experience, but also some domain-related training, which really helps you to scale on the end-to-end operations. Because today, domain centricity, is the norm in any work that you do. You need to equip your people for that. So we kind of, inculcate or at least put that as part of our.
How would you rate your rate of attrition against industry?
So it varies by vertical, varies from front office versus back office. I would say in the back office, I would really put us in the top 10 to 20 percentile in that, in terms of our retention. In the front office, it depends on, once again, it's very difficult for me to state. It depends on what area of work that you do and in which location you stay. That makes a big difference. If you take Philippines, for example, while every other company has gone to Manila, we made a strategic push when we launched in Philippines several years ago that we'll have only 30% of our business in Manila, where the attrition runs at 5-6% a month, whereas 70% of the business we've kept it in the province. Now, when others were really scared to go, we took that bold step, invested on the people, equipped the people, and today in the provinces, the attrition runs at 2-2.5% a month, which is phenomenally low. So I would say we're the market leader there, right? And any geography, like when we launched in Egypt, where everybody talks about the issues that are there, we've been our downtime during this entire revolution has been maximum 6 hours. So the key thing is we didn't launch it in Cairo, we launched it in Alexandria. So any geography we go, we strategically position ourselves and where you get the talent, infrastructure, not necessarily go and flock into the metro.
And Egypt is, you're still seeing normal, people turning up on time and delivering and so on.
They don't want to go.
Okay.
Because job security, we are able to provide the job security, and they're delivering some real fabulous results, which our clients are thrilled. The fact that with all these noises, our clients still stay with us, and very recently we won 2 new clients, which we're going to take it there, and we believe that geography is absolutely going to be.
Is it because of a certain vertical, or is it language and so on?
No, it's a combination. The skill set and the it's vertical centric as well. Along with that, we are doing multilingual there, and our ability to source multilingual and provide support for different geographies, it's a key differentiator.
Right. So what's next? The question that I've been asking a lot of other people as well is that, where could be the next Philippines, or where could be the next Alexandria, as you pointed out?
I can tell you there's no next India or next Philippines, I can tell you. Alexandria, once again, it's a great place.
It's a small
but yeah, so if you want to go and ramp, if you take the number of BPOs and ramping 500,000 employees or, 1 million employees, you're not going to see a next India or Philippines. Where we are going strategically, we are significantly expanding in the LATAM market in Colombia. In the last 2 years, we've really ramped up to 3,500 people, and we have very big plans to grow there. The talent availability is really good there. Jamaica is another strategic location where we have gone into a very unique model where we positioned our center inside the university. There are 15,000 students in the university. We provide an earn as you learn model, and we launched it in December 2012, and all the launches we have done there have been phenomenally successful, and we see a good potential to grow Jamaica, which is near shore. Obviously, the growth is pretty good. Outside that, we are obviously exploring South Africa a little bit at this point of time. So you'll see these geographies which are coming in, which will add some strength, but you're not going to see a next India or Philippines anymore.
So therefore, India is where the big growth will still come, I think.
India will definitely go into high-end work, right? So if you look at Philippines, more and more the voice-based business, some FAO business are going. But if you really want to go into a high-end knowledge-based work, processing, or end-to-end outcome-based business, India is really well positioned, and the people are doing a phenomenal job here, and we are no different there. We are capitalizing it as well.
Right. Bala Sivanesa, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Nice meeting you.